Hello, my name is Fear Dragon, and welcome. We're going to be casting the After Hours Gaming League semi-finals for Season 3. This is going to be super duper exciting. Surely you guys noticed if you were tuning in for the stream earlier on that I had the little logo saying, hey, you know what? Amazon versus Storm8, the semi-finals of the After Hours Gaming League Season 3 is going to be happening right now. And you guys are all lovely enough to tune in for this, so as soon as the game actually starts to get up, they're just kind of sorting out a couple of details, getting up the lobby, making sure everything's ready and good. But in the meanwhile, we can just talk a little bit about these two teams. So let me give you guys a little bit of background about how badass these two teams are, okay, and what they have accomplished. So first we have Team Amazon. Now, for any of you guys who have been tuning in for some of my After Hours Gaming League casts, you'll definitely be familiar with Amazon. They've done some really fantastic stuff, shown us some really fantastic games, and right now, in the semifinals to get there, they actually had to beat Twitter. And Twitter was a previous semifinalist from After Hours Gaming League Season 2. And they have managed to stomp over them with a 4-1 victory. In their group, they managed to go 5-2. And now they've made it here to play Storm8. Now, Storm8 is definitely a contender as well. As you know, Amazon, one of those teams, has been in After Hours Gaming League since Season 1. But Storm8, new to the AHGL scene. And recently, just in their past match, they actually ended up beating Epic. And now Epic, you might be wondering, like, well, how good is Epic? Epic is pretty gosh darn good. They were a finalist in After Hours Gaming League Season 2 and are absolutely monstrous. So the fact that Storm8 was able to beat them with a 4-2 victory just shows how unbelievably powerful this team is. They actually managed to go 2-5 in their groups, which is, obviously not the most ideal score, but they've really got their stuff together in the late stages of the AHGL, and they're going to be looking to definitely try and take this series so they can move on to the finals, and the finals are going to be incredibly epic. So, that being said, looks like players are getting ready, getting into the lobby, and we're going to go ahead and see when exactly this game is going to get started. So I'm just going to give you guys a little bit of heads up. So we do already know exactly what the format is for which player is going to play who and all that stuff if you've been tuning in for the AHGL. Sorry. All right. We do know who's going to be playing it. Right now we're going to be seeing Cicero, the Protoss player, versus Shiver, who's also a Protoss player playing on Neoplanet S. Game is getting started. Let's go ahead and jump in and introduce the players. And I will give you guys a little bit of background information on these players as they have a nice little history in the AHGL now. Alrighty guys, we are live and in here. Let's go ahead and introduce the players spawning up here in the top right hand corner of Neoplanet S. We have the red Protoss player representing Team Storm8. His name is Storm8's Shiver. And his opponent, spawning down here in the bottom left-hand corner of Neoplanet S, is the blue Protoss representing Team Amazon. It is going to be Amazon Cicero. And both these players have a nice little history behind them. Cicero, actually the team captain for Team Amazon, has played a couple of games as a PvP in AHGL. In fact, I think it's his most played matchup in the AHGL. So I don't know if he's trying to snipe the Protoss versus Protoss games or what. But unfortunately for him, his PvP win rate is actually not that amazing. It's currently 1-3. And I'm not going to lie, I've seen him forget a lot of those PvPs. So we'll end up seeing if that's going to work out. I feel like in Heart of the Swarm, Forgate is just not quite as strong as it used to be in Wings of Liberty. So hopefully he does have some nice builds planned for this match and specifically. And yeah, his opponent actually, Shiver over here, is currently 1-1 in PvP. Or sorry, 1-1 in the HGL, but 1-0 in PvP. So that's technically a 100% win rate. Things bode quite well for him. So I'm really curious to see what he's going to be doing. Now, one thing that has been super duper popular in the Protoss versus Protoss matchup as of late has just been that Stargate play. So we'll end up seeing if any of these players decide to go for Stargate. Now will be around the time that we'll see that, because usually if a player decides to go for that, they'll go for that second gas very, very quickly before their cybernetics core is actually even thrown down, but no, it doesn't actually look like either of these players are really going to be going for that. So maybe if they do, they'll go for a much safer Stargate, as when you decide to go for that very early second gas geyser and then go for that fast Stargate to get out the lead of Phoenix or Void Rays on your opponent, you end up being very susceptible to a lot of that early gateway aggression, even just off of 3 gateways. The Zealot Stalker pushes. Oh, it can be so difficult to actually deal with that if you decide to play a little bit too greedy. So both these players are going to be playing very safe, I have to say. In fact, saving up quite a bit of Chrono Boost. Looks like we're going to be seeing a 3 Stalker rush over here out of Shiver. That's going to allow him to get a little bit of map control. And in the meanwhile, over here, Cicero just kind of going with the old school style of Zealot. Actually, no, just single Stalker. And what on earth is he planning? Both these players have saved up so much Chrono Boost and are both using it on that Warp Gate technology, although there is a Stalker getting Chrono Boosted out for Shiver. So that means that if Cicero decides to continuously Chrono Boost that Cybernetic core, he will have just a slightly 10-second faster Warp Gate technology. We'll have to see if that actually comes to play. I don't think it likely will, unless one... Oh, what on earth is this? Shiver throwing down the Forge and looking like he wants to expand. Wow, this is going to be very interesting because it looks like Cicero, as I called it, I'm just going to say I called it, going for the 4-gate, as he has done many a time in the AHGL. And PvP, one of those matchups where, you know, I think really right now you're not expecting the 4-gate because you think, oh, well, if you have a Mothership core out, you can just hold off the 4-gate. And here we end up seeing some nice micro going on. Almost actually is able to pick off the probe. So Cicero doing a nice job at doing that. But in the meanwhile, oh, actually, sorry, Shiver able to pick off Cicero's probe, getting those colors a little bit mixed up. Cicero actually going to be in a very difficult situation as this pylon has been scouted. He has a second pylon already up, but the Stalker is going to go down to those 2 Stalkers, and now this Zealot also going to go down as well. When is Cicero's Warp Gate going to be finishing up? It's just now morphing in. Shivers is not quite done yet. He will not have Warp Gate technology for this push. Here come in 3 Stalkers. 2 of the pylons still remain for Cicero, and this could be very difficult for Shiver, but he has 3 photon cannons up, and Cicero doesn't even care. He's just going straight over into the main. He's going to be able to try and take off this Stalker, but the Stalker is going to be able to actually manage to snipe off that other Stalker, and oh my god, I think that Shiver is just barely ahead with the probe pull. He actually should be able to take out this Stalker, but Cicero microing very well, and this is actually going to delay a little bit of the warp-ins for Shiver. So now it's actually looking like a bit of a questionable decision, but Warp Gate is now done. He has the money to do the warp-in, and the Stalker is likely going to fall very soon. Now, here are a couple things that are worth noting. In fact, Cicero now throwing down that second gas geyser and looking like he wants to transition. Yep, there's going to be actually the Nexus now. This is what's super interesting. Cicero was able to actually delay that Nexus from going up for such a long time. Look at this. The Nexus is actually going up later for Shiver, even though Cicero had added on more gateways first. And, I mean, what exactly is the advantage for Shiver right now? Basically, he has these 3 cannons. He's invested 450 minerals into this defense. That's going to make him very passive. And, whoa! Cicero actually canceled that Nexus that he was going to be building, so that is very interesting. Does he feel like he can break his opponent? Is he going for a... what on earth is he doing? I actually have no idea. He's not going for a robotics facility, so we're not going to be seeing some sort of warp prism play. I'm really curious to see what he intends to do to try and break this, because I think trying to break 3 photon cannons and going up to 4 is going to be not the best and most ideal situation. This is just not going to go very well, but it looks like he's committed to it. He's going to go in. The Zealots are taking quite a bit of damage from those photon cannons, but it's allowing the Stalkers to get by without taking too much damage. The Zealots now just working their way over onto the Stalkers. The Stalkers trying to get the best wall off on that ramp as they can, and wow, it just looks like Cicero not even going to engage any of those photon cannons, but it's not working out too well for Shiver. This is so surprising. There's a single Zealot and 2 Stalkers that managed to survive and make their way into the main base. Now the probes are actually being pulled. We can see over here is 23 probes to 18 probes, and the probe cannon is actually just continuing to dwindle. So even though Shiver actually has that natural expansion up, he's just losing so many probes. So there's going to be the GG coming out, and we end up seeing Cicero from Team Amazon take game number 1.